In these worlds, you have one goal. But I don't want to survive in this world. I want to create something beautiful before I meet my end. This is hardcore Minecraft. In this world, you are given one life. One wrong move and this world is gone forever. Many people see this as the only challenge, to survive as long as possible. But I had a different challenge in mind. I want to create a kingdom in hardcore Minecraft. I want to completely transform this land into a breathtaking civilization with towns, castles, shipyards, and so much more. But instead of just surviving until I die, once I'm satisfied with this world and all the projects in it, I will end it all and start again. This way, I don't take my time for granted. I have a clear idea of what needs to be achieved and a way to challenge myself to become a better builder. But before then, I do actually need to survive a little. And here we are. It has been so long since I've stepped foot in a hardcore world. I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing with myself. Like, do I explore first? Do I collect things first? I guess it'd probably be good to start out with the basics. My plan for the early days was simple. Explore a little, get geared up, and get to work on some farms. Now, is there anything I can see nearby? Oh wait, that's a village. Perfect. And there's one right there, even better. I've been playing endgame Minecraft for the better part of 2 years now, so the early game terrifies me. Not to mention, I could lose everything in one wrong move. Oh no, oh my god, oh no. Ooh, and I see an iron golem too, that'll be easy. Now, I don't do this often, but I think we can go 3 blocks up and be fine. Please, please, please. Okay. Yeah, okay. Ooh, a little scared, but we got our first iron now. Okay, now I think this building is the blacksmith, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's pretty good. I guess we don't have to worry about smelting anything now. Oh, is this another one? Okay, not too bad. I have some weird, like, resource pack thing going on. I don't really know what's wrong with these pieces of armor, but that's 3 pieces of iron armor already. That's crazy. With a bit of gear under my belt, I feel a lot safer now. Safe enough that I think it's time for a little exploring. The day count is there to make sure I stay on track and don't let myself get too distracted. Aw, they're little babies. It's so cute. For the most part. I don't want to change up my playstyle too much, but I do want to be reminded to spend my time wisely. Heading out of the village and across this frozen river, I stopped to gather a few of the early game essentials. What a good first day. I can almost say it's perfect. I'm sorry. Considering how much gear we got from the first village, I will be stopping at every single one for the foreseeable future. How did you get trapped in here? Oh, is that a dungeon? Oh, let's just get some of that going. Didn't even panic. Golden apple, that could save my life. I'm less scared doing this now, but it's still a bit frightening. Oh, that's not right. Oh, okay. Kind of cool. A little bit weird. And no blacksmith, unfortunately. Well, that's okay. Onward and upward. I started my way across the world, gathering resources and food any chance I got. Stupid goat. Okay, if I hit this, you have to sub.
Huh?
Wait. First try. Are you subbed yet? Oh no, there's a baby. Psych! Including our first diamonds. I will take that, thank you. Can I make this? Oh, meant to do that. Parkour. We'll edit that out. This seed is beautiful. I need to explain something about this world. This isn't just a random seed I loaded when I started making this video. I spent a good chunk of time searching for the perfect seed to start this series. And after dozens of promising candidates, I discovered this one. The main area we'll be basing is this beautiful continent, roughly 1,000 blocks from spawn. The area itself is surrounded by stunning mountains, gorgeous cliffs, and a diverse set of biomes. To the south and east sides, we have large ocean borders and an almost land bridge dividing the two oceans. To the north, rivers carved out a beautiful secluded bay area with cascading cliffs and mountains on all sides. The northern rivers divide up the land but create lots of opportunity for unique builds. This side will also need plenty of defenses since it's the closest to the northern regions. These are dangerous lands with threats looming just over the horizon. We will need to make sure this area is heavily fortified. And finally, to the west, the main entrance to our kingdom. This stretch of land will be converted into a bustling city with harbor districts, black markets, defenses, and so much life. And towering at the very edge of town, built within the mountain range, we will have an enormous castle keep. Not to mention the various other ideas for towns and villages, farms, builds, dangerous areas of land, and so much more. Oh my god, I completely forgot. I was supposed to have shaders on this whole time. Anything good here? Ooh, a silk touch pickaxe. That's really useful. Now I can get bees. Ooh, cauldrons, yes. These things are expensive, and for whatever reason, I need like a dozen of them for my starter house. You, my friend, are going to become a cauldron. Dude, this is so cool. All right, enough fooling around. It's time to head home. My goal by the end of the series is to completely transform this land into a busy, bustling kingdom that we can call, I'm not sure yet. I don't have a name for it yet, but I think by the end of this project, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful area. But it's got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is right here, in pretty much the center of the continent. All right, blacksmith, what do you got for me? Holy cow. Well, I definitely don't need to go mining for diamonds anytime soon. Okay, I think I want to commandeer this house. It's kind of on the outskirts of the village, and I think it'd be perfect as a temporary little base. You know, the in-between starter base, the pre-starter base, starter base. Either way, it should be enough space for now. All right, dumped all my junk. Now it's time to go and take a look at the rest of the continent. We're coming up on the south side of the continent, and I know there are 2 villages down here somewhere. Not quite sure where, but we are going to find them. Aha, village number 1 and village number 2. Coming around the west side of the coastline, I think we're close to where we started. We should be, at least. God, these cliffs are so cool. And if we head through this valley, I think there's gonna be, yep, that is a pillager outpost, situated very perfectly in this valley. And right here in the middle of the continent, we have probably the most beautiful spot. On top of this little hill, you get such a good view of all of the mountains in the area. That's more bees, thank you. Now it's time for a few starter area chores. First up on the docket was food. I need to make sure I set aside some cows before they all disappear. That's you're not a cow, bud. You stay right there. And speaking of disappearing, I do not trust these villagers to keep themselves alive, so until further notice, they are all on house arrest. With those 2 sorted, I want to set up some crop fields so I can keep my cows fed. But they take a while to grow, so while I waited, it felt like a good a time as any to do a little caving. I think I saw a cave over here earlier. Oh, hello, skeletons. Oh boy, that's a lot. I don't like this. Oh, no. Oh my god. Oh, no. That got out of hand so fast. I gotta do it. I gotta eat my golden apple. Dude, oh my god. That happened so fast. Stupid skeletons. Take that. Woo. Ooh, spawner. Hell yeah. Okay, I think I saw some deeper caves over this way. What I really need right now is some lapis. We're gonna start enchanting soon, and I don't have any to my name. This shouldn't be an issue. You'd think I'd be more careful. Ooh, a diamond. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. No. Okay, block it up. Oh, he blew up the creeper. Oh my god. I can't do anything. I can't. Dude, my shield. It's like, how do I fight this thing? Oh, no. Oh my god. Oh, no. Oh my god. That was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in Minecraft. I knew that baby zombies were the scourge of hardcore Minecraft worlds, but thanks to the addition of the spear, they've become even more dangerous. At base, baby zombies have a faster movement speed than regular zombies, and the spear that just got added to Minecraft calculates damage based on how fast the wielder is moving, and it has a greater reach than any other melee weapon. On top of that, Mojang changed the mob AI, so whenever an enemy spawns with the spear, they will attack more strategically, meaning they will run away to get distance to charge at you again. More speed, smarter AI, and the fear of having almost lost everything 20 minutes ago, I was terrified. I couldn't build up because of the spear's reach. I tried blocking its path, but because the spear damages anything in its way, it triggered a creeper that blew up my wall, and the baby didn't even get hurt in the explosion because its AI ran away to charge up another attack. You can't even put a boat down because the spear breaks them. I tried everything, all the normal tricks, none of them worked. My armor wasn't stopping anything, and I was sweating this fight. And by the grace of whatever deity made it into my prayers, I managed to take this thing out. Shaking, I collected myself, gathered the diamond I fought hard for, and stupidly continued into the cave. With the new terror instilled in me, I had just one thing on my mind. I need better gear, and I knew one way to safely get there. I need emeralds in order to trade for diamond gear, so I need a Fletcher for easy emeralds, which means I need bamboo to make sticks to trade for emeralds to get new gear. And it just so happens bamboo grows in the same biome as jungle wood, which I also need. 2 birds, 1 stone. I did get a little distracted along the way. I noticed we have a mansion very close to home. I stopped at the shipwreck and found its buried treasure, picked up all the sugarcane I could carry along the way, spotted a jungle at the edge of the savannah, which of course I stopped at, got my bamboo, got my jungle wood, raided a temple, then a village, before finally taking the long way around to head back home. I was really hoping to find some mangrove trees on this expedition, but unfortunately, I came up short. Back at home, I put all our goodies straight to work. While the bamboo is growing, I'm also going to expand the sugarcane field so we can get a steady supply of paper to eventually trade with librarians. I've done enough enchanting in this game to know that you can waste a lot of time and valuable levels at this table. The librarians should help us avoid some of that. After attending to some chores, the bamboo was ready to harvest. I crafted it up and got underway with our first trades. And there we have it, our first emeralds. Now I just have to do this so many more times. That was phase 1. Now we're going into phase 2. Trading sticks will only get us so far, and because I'll need a steady supply of iron moving forward for farms and cauldrons and whatnot, it's better to get this done early. I've never been against day 1 iron farms, but I felt a little icky getting this one set up so fast. I'll put a link in the cards for the farm that I used. In total, it took about 25 minutes. That was with finding a zombie that could hold an item, spawn proofing, digging a hole, setting up the space for villagers, getting them and the zombie in place, digging out the killing chamber, and making sure the golems had space to spawn. And it works perfectly, of course. Now we have all the iron we could need. Okay, and I finally reached 30 levels, so we're gonna try our first enchantment. Great, thank you, Minecraft. Just gonna get rid of that. Okay, 30 again. What do we get? All right, well, I'll at least put some of this iron to work. Ooh, but while I'm thinking about it, I should probably set up a breeder. I only have like 2 villagers left. Yeah, I should do that. Okay, we're gonna put a pause on trading. I'm building the tried and true design I've used for years. Only this time, I made it a personal challenge to create the ugliest looking breeder ever. While that was getting warmed up, I stuck to cycling trades, replanting crops, and even started gathering some of the resources for our starter house. Oh yes, a trader, I need this. Are you gonna have mangrove saplings? No. I will take the coral though. Don't know what happened, but we're just gonna put this here and ignore the other heads. Are you gonna work? Come on. Ooh, okay, finally, we got a baby. Now we have to trap the baby in here with its parent and wait for the baby to grow up. We're not gonna think too hard about that one. Now that I have my toolsmith back and the breeder up and running, I can start work at unlocking our very first diamond armor. But while I wait for a new baby villager to grow up, I think it's time we set ourselves up a bee farm. Okay, now I'm not following a tutorial for this bee farm. I feel like I could probably remember how to do it. Mud here so we can collect it easy with hoppers, flowers, a block here, dispensers. I don't have comparators yet, so this will probably be manual. Redstone to the top, and beehives. Okay, and I'm gonna breed them up a couple times. a lever so we can actually collect it. Should be good to go. Okay, it looks like we finally got a couple villagers rolling. Can I get one? It's a baby. All right. Okay, they grew up and now they're in their own house. Can we get some diamond armor? There we go. That was relatively easy, though now that I think about it, it might have been faster if I just went down into the mines, but no matter. Now the big holdup was XP. We've got the armor, but the enchantments really make a difference. Okay, I want to take a trip back to the Skelly dungeon we found earlier. I feel like it's a rite of passage to make a Skelly grinder, and maybe it'll help us with our XP. I don't know if something changed with these spawners, but these rates suck, which is really sad. We can get bones easy now, but I don't think this is a good way to get XP. Back to trading I go. I found myself in a vicious cycle. I spent the next 10 or so days setting up an impromptu villager trading hall. The goal, of course, while I may have gotten a little lost in the trenches, was to set up a reliable source of XP, so that I could enchant my armor and tools. Within the same vein, I felt like it was a good idea to get librarians going. That way, if I struggle too much at the enchanter, I can fall back on some book trades. I knew this was going to be a long process, so instead of just focusing on villagers and their idiocy, I decided it was best if I started to work on the real grind of today's video. Moving forward, I have two main goals: gather materials and get geared up. We've got a house to build, and the sooner we get these materials collected, the faster I can start editing. Yay. First on the list, I need a whole lot of wood. I gathered both dark oak and jungle first, since they were the two I needed most of. After getting my hands on a better axe, I went over to the local spruce forest and started chopping. Next up was all the stone materials, including, but not limited to, regular stone, cobblestone, deep slate, cobbled deep slate, tough granite, andesite, and diorite. Literally every material you can find underground. Back on the surface, I kept noticing lag spikes in this area, so I got rid of all the cows to see if that helps. And with my nose all stuffy from the caves, I caught a breath of fresh air and farmed up some mud. If you aren't collecting your mud like this in the early game, you're doing it wrong. I also need almost a double chest of dirt, which I cannot be bothered to collect all of right now, so we're going to chip away at this mound as we need it. Next up was moss and azalea leaves. I want to be better about adding trees to my worlds. The downside is that now not only do I have to collect more wood, I also need 1,500 leaves. Guess how many trees we're building? 1,500 leaves. One tree. With most of the bulk stuff out of the way, now it was time for crafting. This was the true testament of my mathematical prowess. You see, beforehand, I tried to calculate the total number of materials relative to the amount needed for crafting, meaning if I needed 4 extra planks, I would add 1 extra log to the total I had written down. Except something went wrong, and I had to go back and collect more of basically everything. But we're fine. It's cool. I didn't get upset or anything. With the normal stuff out of the way, now it's time for the niche materials. 63 glow lichen, 41 beehives, 91 chains, 72 candles, 98 bookshelves, 51 pots, both decorated and the flower kind, 10 firefly bushes, and 1 brown mushroom. Oh, and a double chest of other niche things. I feel like I'm getting better at detailing. The only caveat is you need to collect so much more junk. Oh, and I have to remind you, the whole time I'm gathering these materials, I'm also going back and forth with the villagers, trying to roll trades, gather XP, and slowly improve my gear. The biggest holdup right now is Feather Falling 4. For the life of me, I cannot seem to roll it anywhere. Not in the table, not through a villager, nowhere. And finally, on day 74, I got it. Dude, finally. You may be asking, why did I spend so much time trying for one enchantment? Well, let's just say I don't want to embarrass myself. One of the last big groups of materials I needed to collect was copper, so back down to the mines I went. Yeah, we're gonna let this play out because the amount of copper ore I got in this vein was mental. I have never seen this much copper in one chunk in my life. That was one vein? What on earth? Now that we have plenty of raw copper, I need to set up a little smelting array so we can get it all cooked into usable blocks. But this will take a minute. While I waited, I remembered a way that we can use cartographer villagers to get even more XP. So far, I've been limited by the amount of trades I can complete. Adding another set of villagers to the mix can increase my XP gains by around 50% without spending more emeralds. The loop goes like this: trade iron to my 4 toolsmiths, take those emeralds and trade for glass with the librarians, then turn the glass into panes and trade them back to the cartographers for a small gain of emeralds. Iron, glass, panes, profit. The only holdup now is that I only have 2 librarians that trade for glass, so I have to put in even more work to get new ones that have books I need and a glass trade on top. Completely optional, by the way. I did not need to waste as much time on this as I did, but there's no changing that now. As the copper oxidized, I went to work hunting down the last few sets of materials I needed for our starter house. The first challenge, mangrove. The nearest swamp is 4,000 blocks south of us, which is a hefty journey. After crossing an ocean, finding a better horse, looting a village, and fighting some pillagers, we arrived at the mangrove swamp. I made sure to collect plenty of propagules to bring home and lots of extra mud. On the way back home, I stumbled upon a lush cave where I found a few spore blossoms, small drip leaf, and a few stacks of rooted dirt. I'd say that was pretty successful. Now for a much shorter trip north. Luckily, there's a pale oak biome not too far away. I spent some time and gathered up all the wood and pale moss we needed for the build. Dude, is that a zombie horse? Oh my god, I haven't seen one of these in game yet. I know to be careful around these things. Dude, this is so cool. Oh my god, is that another one? Okay, let's put this one away. Dude, this is so fun. Oh my god. And if it has a saddle on it, shouldn't burn, right? Oh no. Oh my god, oh no, oh no. Dude, stop jumping. Well, at least I put the other one away. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna keep armor on him because I think the armor means that he won't burn. With all that sorted, it was time for the nether. I'm sorry. Okay, this shouldn't be a big issue. I've done this so many times. I've got good gear, got blocks. What I need is piglins. Ooh, okay. Not the worst spawn. Now to just build us some protection. Dude, I don't need this right now. Ugh. Stop it.
Nice shot.
Could have been a lot worse. Oh, good. Okay, we should be able to get piglins over there. Oh, booyah. Right now, if I trade this gold to piglins, we should be able to get our hands on some fire res potions. They're not going to be the best, but they're going to be good enough to save us in case we end up slipping and falling into lava or getting blown up by gas or something like that. I think I'd be comfortable with at least 2. That took forever. Now that I felt much safer in this dimension, it was time to find a bastion. You see, I need blackstone, like a lot of it, and I have 3 options for mining blackstone in the nether: basalt delta, strip mining, or destroying a bastion. I'm only like 60% sure you can get blackstone from strip mining, and I'm definitely not going to basalt delta right now, even with a couple fire res potions. So that leaves us to find a bastion. And I'll need to make this trip a couple times, so I need to make it as safe as I can. I also made sure to collect plenty of ender pearls along the way to help with easier travel. Eventually, I found a bastion and got to work clearing it out. Hello, piggies. If I play this smart, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Ooh, I have no interest in netherite right now, but I will put that away for later. I know they don't respawn, but I don't know how many brutes there are, so I have to be extra careful. Oh god. Okay, this is so risky. Parkour. Okay, I don't hear anymore. I think we might be okay. With the brutes cleared out and a reasonably safe path back to the portal, I began chipping away at this bastion, one full inventory after another. Now there's just one thing standing in my way. And I only need like 16 blocks. The nearest desert is another multi-thousand block journey, but with the nether opened up now, I can safely travel across the roof. With the portal opened up, I made my way around the desert, collecting a few various things we might need later. And finally, I gathered the 16 coral blocks we came all the way out here for, and went home. Okay, we've got all these materials finally gathered up. It's time to actually get to work. But I can't even work on my house yet because this area needs some TLC. We need to actually do some terraforming before we can even start working on our house, which is absolutely tragic to think about. There's a lot of things I want to get better at over the course of the series, and one of the big ones is terraforming. I've never really done a good job of making my builds feel like they belong in the world, and I need to change that. With this house, we're taking a blended approach to the problem. I designed some loose terrain for the house to sit on, and now I need to blend it into the rest of the world. Rather than doing all of the steps in creative, this gives me leeway to work on aspects of the design in the world, which is a lot more engaging than just copying and pasting a schematic. But we'll work on that more later. I'm antsy to get this house done. Oh, and if you want to build this house for yourselves and every build we create in this world, this design and dozens of others are available right now through my channel memberships. There's also lots of other perks like badges and emojis, early videos, sneak peeks, special roles in my Discord, and lots more. It also goes a long way to supporting me on the road to becoming a full-time creator. Check out the link in the description for more info, and join the Discord while you're down there. Love ya! And there we have it. What a shot. It feels so good to finally have this thing in our world. I've been staring at this thing in a creative mode for so long, and just seeing it in the world feels so good. But I feel like we've seen plenty of the exterior, and well, actually, we have a finished interior to show off that you haven't seen a lick of. So walking through the front door, we're going to ignore all the mob sounds underneath of us. I said earlier that I've been trying to get better at detailing, and well, I feel like this house really shows off how far I've come, especially compared to some of my other starter houses. But in this main room here, we have a nice cozy entryway. We have a couple of different ways that we can go. We're going to start here at the back of the room. This is our kitchen area. There's a bit of extra storage here for maybe some food stuff. Most of the storage is going to take place elsewhere though, so a lot of this is just decorative. But back here in this corner, actually, we have a mini super smelter with our own lava cauldrons. We actually have some lava sources tucked away into the ceiling that we can use to smelt up really whenever we need to. Moving back here, we're going to hook a right from the front door, walk down this hallway and enter our bedroom. All the lighting in here is super dim and cozy with the shaders on. I haven't really taken a look at this yet with shaders, but this is like such a super cozy feeling in here. But if we look over here, this door is going to have an elevator up to the second floor, which we're not going to visit to yet. But I feel like this room came together really well, and I absolutely love the amount of mob sounds that are underneath of us right now. If we want to hook a right down these stairs, we can see the source of the mob sounds. Under here is definitely a crazy mob farm that we need to light up at some point, but that point is not right now. If we go left down here, this is the rest of the basement. This is the dungeon. This is where all of our villagers that we've been trading with all day are going to go. These are our permanent holding cells for those guys, and they are going to be here for the rest of their lives. But like in a fun way. You know, we're gonna make it super fun and cozy and not like a dungeon like it looks like now. But hey, look at this. This is our storage room. Such an awesome experience walking through this door. Hold on, let me turn off the HUD. Look at this. This is such a cool shot here. Yeah, this is going to be the main storage area. While we do have storage tucked around the rest of the house, this is going to be the main part, the main section that we actually store all of our stuff. We got tons of fun little details here, lots of shelves, lots of cool paintings, lots of greenery, which is something that I feel like is very important to this house aesthetic. This is just so cool. It's one of my favorite vibes in here. I love how tall these ceilings are. Before we take a look at the upstairs, I wanted to show you there's a couple doors in and out around the house. So we have multiple entryways, multiple exits that we can just, you know, travel through, make it easier. I feel like I enjoy houses more whenever there are more doors. But going through the final segment of the first floor, this is going to be our little potion area. This is where we're going to do all of our brewing once we actually get blaze rods, which I have yet to do. But this is supposed to be like a cozy little almost dungeon that was just tucked away into this tower here. We even got, you know, some fun little details up here. We got hanging mushrooms and stuff. Yeah, I think we have one of each mushroom up here. Of course, we got space for growing our potion ingredients, space to store them, and just lots of little fun stuff in this corner, just tucked away all peaceful. And then like I was saying about the doors, we also have one down here that leads out underneath this bridge. But if we pop right back in here through the doors again, we are going to go up this staircase now into kind of a workshop storage area. I think we're going to put a couple of armor sets up here, maybe some tools, weapons and stuff. I'm not quite done with all the details. I feel like we're just going to add some stuff over time as we collect more things, but I didn't want to get too carried away with the details today, so we're just kind of going with the basic stuff. This whole room is so open and I love it so much. But over there we have access to the nether inside of our starter house. Not dangerous whatsoever, especially not in hardcore. I thought this was the perfect spot to have our nether portal, and I just absolutely love how imposing this thing looks, especially from the other points in the room. It just feels like it's got such a presence in this room, and I absolutely love it. Super cool. But over here we have the main like attic area. This is kind of just the throwaway storage stuff. We have our enchanting up here that I moved, and just a bunch of other random junk. Like we can put a world map or something over here, and just like a bunch of random details. I feel like we need some cobwebs or something, like some hanging roots up in the ceiling to kind of give that dusty atmosphere. But we tried our best to tuck away firefly bushes in different parts of the build, so you can kind of see them throughout here. They were definitely more prominent downstairs, but we have a couple tucked away in here. I feel like they provide that nice little dusty feel. But if we go over here, this is actually the tower that is connected to our bedroom. We can't go down this way, but if we fall down here and climb through the window, you can see this door leads up to the bubble column, and we could just have an easy access up to here. One of the things that I try and focus on with my starter houses is accessibility and being able to pop around. Hello, child. Being able to pop around to the different segments of the build from basically any angle of either the outside or the inside. And then finally coming out the back here, we have a very blank, empty patio that has the perfect view of the rest of our world. This base is going to be transformed slowly over time, and this is going to be the perfect spot to come out here and just sit and look at it all. I cannot wait for that. But that is far from the end of this project. We actually have quite a bit more to do. For instance, I like to put a tree in here. There's a couple of flags and stuff that we need to put in, and of course the rest of the ugly grass, which we are not keeping. So there is still a bit of work that needs to be done, and instead of continuing to ramble, I'd say let's just get into it. We've got some flags inspired by the B00-100, a beautiful tree out front to bring in some more of that greenery, and some final pops of life around the building. With everything I had planned now taken care of, I turned back toward finishing up the terrain. Nothing too complicated here, just enough to give us an idea of where we're headed in the future, and absolutely nothing around the back because I could not be bothered to do that right now. And here we go. This is it. God, it feels so good to have this finally done. It's been 183 days, almost 200 days on one episode, which is absolutely crazy. I did not think it would spend this much time on one episode, but hey, this is absolutely crazy. And I usually do this thing called shader shots, but we're running dedicated shaders, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something different, like this.
Watch this.
God, I hope that turned out okay. All right, yeah, this is crazy. I think we're in a pretty good spot for the end of episode 1. A lot of work went into today's episode, so if y'all enjoyed, please do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, tell me, your favorite color or something, I don't know. But if you made it this far in the video, that means you at least enjoyed a little bit of it, and I would appreciate it if you stuck around. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, that is going to bring us to the end of the video. I want to give a huge shout out to our members, Bocarion, B-Strip, and Silver Serrano. As always, I appreciate you making it to this point in the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.